I'll just hand it over. So, welcome everybody to the Mark V. Segal Theatre Center here at the Gillitt Center, CUNY. And this is day 3 of a very successful festival of Penwell Voices. I think we had spectacular readings so far, and truly outstanding voices from around the world, from France, from Uganda, from Cuba, Germany, and many others. And as far as we know, this morning, even the New York Times mentioned us in the Monday briefing next to Kurt Cobain and Michelle Obama. So it must be important what we are doing. This is a big thing. The Segal Center bridges academia and professional theater, international and American theater. It's our 8th year with Penwell Voices. It's a very significant, important festival. Over 100 writers are here in town for 10 days. It was founded by Salman Rushdie and Paul Auster during the Bush government, because they felt, and I think it is true, that there was a tunnel vision. Not many voices were heard. Only 5% of all books you can buy in the bookstores are from international writers. Mostly say foreign, but we say it's international. And out of those 5%, 50% is French or German, because they are so generously supported by their own government. So what we actually hear and see is a tiny fraction of the realities that exist all around the globe. Meanwhile, in the music business, every musician wants to listen to world music, needs to know what people are doing in Australia, Europe, Asia, Africa, for their own development, to create a hybrid version of their local one, but also in connection to a global outreach of their work. So this is what we are trying to do here. Thank you all for taking your time out on a Monday afternoon. Often the times of the readings are just who has time, who can come, when do we get the actors and directors, so there's no hierarchy in it. But it's truly a great honor to welcome today Joned Suryatmoko, who is here. He flew or traveled over 42 hours to come here. It's his first time also here in New York and the Americas. He is a very significant writer, a very important voice, and he is representing Asia with his work today in our festival. So next to me is Christine Scarfuto, who did a great job. She's the producer of the festival, also helped us with the election. And I, of course, want to thank the Segal staff, but here you go.
So thank you again for being here today. I also wanted to thank our director, Eric Ting, for doing such a wonderful job with this reading. And without any further ado, I'd like to start the reading of Picnic by Joned Suryatmoko.
Picnic by Joned Suryatmoko. Setting: about 1 a.m. at the start of the long holidays. The events take place in a male toilet in the lobby of a 4-star hotel in Bali. There are 2 wash basins with automatic soap dispensers alongside each tap. There is also a potted plant. There is a big mirror. Sobirin, a plumbing technician in his uniform, is looking in the mirror. There are 4 toilet stalls. None of the toilet stall doors are open, with the exception of one, through which you can see a white pedestal toilet and a plastic bucket. There are 5 waist-high urinals. The sound of the Balinese gamelan plays softly in the background as a hotel guest enters, dressed in jeans and a t-shirt with a collar. He is seen undoing his belt in order to pee. He presses the flushing knob, but it doesn't work. He presses it again. It still does not work. No water comes out. With his belt still undone, he moves to a different urinal and checks that the flushing knob works properly. He opens the front of his trousers and pees there. He presses the flushing knob and is seen washing the end of his penis. He does up his pants, then goes to the wash basin and washes his hands. His mobile phone rings.
Yes, I've just arrived at the hotel. No, not yet. I haven't gotten to the room. He asked me to wait in the lobby. You're already in the lobby? Okay, just a minute. I'm in the toilet. No, I'm in the toilet in the lobby, not the toilet in the room. I already said he told me to wait in the lobby. Yes, I'm coming to the lobby now. Are you by yourself? Who else?
The hotel guest leaves, pulling along his suitcase, as Hilmar enters, wearing casual but expensive clothes, carrying a paper shopping bag from a well-known mall in Bali. Hilmar and Sobirin take each other in. Hilmar takes his bag to the broken urinal and gets ready to pee.
How are things?
Hilmar pees in silence. Sometimes he looks at his penis. From time to time, he glances at Sobirin. Sobirin looks at Hilmar for a moment, but then leans against the wall. Hilmar finishes, he does up his trousers without washing the tip of his penis. He presses the flushing button, but no water comes out. He tries again, but still no water. He leaves it without flushing, goes to the wash basin, washes his hands.
At last, I found this sign. There should be a few of them in the storeroom. Yesterday, they were still there.
Wid, the toilet attendant, enters wearing a uniform like Sobirin's. He comes in carrying a sign saying "out of order," which he puts upon the broken urinal.
What? Although they knew it was out of order, someone still peed here?
A new recruit. How long has he been here?
Who is this? Don't know.
Work hard. I need to talk to you later. I'm going to come back.
You should flush out the out-of-order urinal. The person who just left peed in there, so of course it smells.
Wid takes water in a plastic dipper from the bucket in the toilet cubicle.
I've had this bucket and dipper ready since this afternoon. I was sure someone would pee here.
Next time, don't wait before putting up the out-of-order sign. How are the people to know that it's not working if you don't put up a sign?
Yeah, how am I to know to put up a sign straight away if I'm not instructed to do so?
Once the urinal is cleaned, Sobirin tries repeatedly to press the flushing knob. He bends over to inspect the knob.
This is not just loose, but will need to be replaced. Can't be left like this with the holidays coming up. There's no one else coming in?
Seems not. Hopefully there won't be any more checking in.
In an hour's time, there certainly will be. The long queue of guests you saw out front just now, I just got in from Korea. They landed at 12 midnight.
So many of them?
Because some came on Korean Airlines and the rest on Garuda. All from Korea. Don't you like it when there are a lot of guests? What time is it now?
1 o'clock.
That means the two airlines were on time. I saw on the schedule that they were both due to land at 12:05. Garuda is getting better organized these days. Aren't you proud that your own country's airline is well organized?
So it really has to be replaced?
Better do it now. The long holidays are coming up with lots of guests.
Now? Changed now?
I mean, this morning. In an hour, there will be guests checking in from Taipei, China Airlines. Maybe they will want to pee here, or at least wash their hands while they are waiting to register like the Koreans just now.
How do you know they travel with China Airways?
From Asri and her friends. Then the last plane to land at the airport gets in at 20 minutes past 1, if it's not delayed. Then there aren't any more until 8:30. After the guests from Taipei check in, I'll replace this broken button. Maybe in an hour. Get it done by daybreak at the latest.
How come you're pally with the receptionists?
Later, when you've been here a long time, you'll surely be able to get to know them too. If you only finished training a month ago, of course, you don't know anyone. When you're friends with them, you'll be able to ask about the guest arrivals too.
I just want to get to know them, not to ask about guest arrivals, let alone flight schedules.
When will you learn to take an interest in things outside of your work?
But what connection is there between a toilet attendant like me, whose job is to clean toilets, and the schedule of planes from China?
Certainly there is no connection. But Mr. Jetmiko likes clever employees who know a few things.
So, if we're smart, Chetmiko and his people in the personnel department will give us a raise?
What do you think Asri did before she became a receptionist?
Sobirin washes his hands.
When she left high school, she often helped her mother, who worked as a bamboo cutter in the garden next to the garage. She got to memorize all the flight schedules because she liked chatting with and questioning the drivers of pickup vehicles. Mr. Chetmiko was impressed and suggested that the hotel give Asri a scholarship to go to school. The condition was that she work here after she graduated from the tourism academy. Then she became a receptionist, although she still had to work the night shift. And this hotel began a program of scholarships for local residents or children of employees, all because of Asri's cleverness.
Oh, that's what you mean about memorizing flight schedules.
Studying! That's what I mean. Look at Asri. Absorb everything you can from the place where you're working, even though your job is looking after the toilets in the hotel lobby.
I didn't come to Bali to work as a toilet attendant in a hotel lobby.
Well then, you often say that, but why don't you do something about it?
Wid takes out a rag and wipes the basin where Sobirin washed his hands.
Working here, you see only piss and shit and don't get any time out, not even to have a smoke.
Sobirin takes out a sweet from his pocket. He offers one to Wid.
Well, in time you'll get used to entertaining yourself with little sweets like this and forget about smoking.
You seem to be used to it.
I've been here 10 years. And for the first 3 years I worked as a toilet attendant like you.
Then in the 4th year, you moved to the maintenance section.
Didn't move, got moved. Here your boss has the power to decide where you get placed.
Yes, it's clear we can't organize our own lives.
But don't forget, other people organize our lives for a reason. And that's what we've got to do.
What do you mean?
Do you think I could have got out of this toilet and moved to the maintenance section if I couldn't do anything? Wait, I'm not a graduate of technical school like you. But in the 3 years I worked here in this toilet, I learned from the maintenance staff who repaired the toilets.
Ah, I understand now. It looks as if Asri copied your way of studying rather than you following her like you said just now.
Up to you, Wid. I better go. You can stay here yourself and think over what I just said.
Where are you going? Are you going to leave me here all alone?
Aren't you used to being here alone? The more often you sit alone, the better for you.
There's no one to talk to. Usually I don't have to be on duty here in the middle of the night.
Complaining like an old pensioner again. It's not every day that you have to guard an out-of-order urinal like this. In less than an hour, I'll come back and we'll fix that flushing knob. Don't go away. A guest might come in and pee in it again.
Sobirin goes out. Wid is left alone. At first he doesn't know what to do. Then he looks in the mirror and wets the ends of his hair with water. He pushes all the flushing knobs one by one in each of the urinals, then starts again from the other direction. He looks at himself again in the mirror. Hilmar enters, carrying his shopping bag.
Hey, where's Sobirin?
He's gone, but he'll come back again later.
Oh? I've been in the lobby for a while, but I didn't see him come out.
Maybe you just didn't happen to see him. Do you want to leave a message for him? Or do you want me to call him?
No need. See him later.
Just wait for him here. He'll be back later. There's something that needs fixing.
Wait here? What will people say if they see us waiting in the toilet? I'll wait in the lobby. If I get too tired, I'll go home. You're new, eh?
Oh, yes. You decided not to wait in the lobby?
How's that? Since we're both alone, I think it's better to wait together. Now, even though it's in the toilet, you've got a friend.
You're not afraid someone might see you?
Why would anyone come to the lobby toilet in the early morning hours like this? I mean, they're surely all in their own rooms. I mean, why are you yourself minding the lobby toilet at this time?
Waiting for Sobirin too. I just said now that there was something broken, we have to replace the flushing knob before daybreak.
I didn't know that the knob was stuck. I just peed there. So that you got angry just now because I peed there.
Oh, were you the one who peed there just now? Sorry. Indeed, there was no sign.
What's your name? I'm Hilmar.
And Wid.
With who? Just Wid? Short for Widado?
With Daddy.
Widadi? Is there such a name? You're from Java, aren't you?
Solo.
Ah, that's why you call me Mas rather than Bam. Or Bli, like people do here. Oh, so there is a name Widadi. What does it mean?
Maybe that I should Dadi. Become something or someone. Dadi in Javanese means the same as Jadi in Indonesian, to become. Yeah. Maybe my parents intended that in the future I should become someone.
There's no chair in here?
No, there's not.
Yes, I know this isn't the lobby where people sit around. It's a toilet. But in the hallway, there's a chair where I could wait.
Yes, an ordinary plastic chair.
You know, it'd be okay if you brought it in. I mean, you can't sit on it either outside. You know, just bring it in. In the past, Sobirin often moved the chair in here. He sat here. In the corridor, there's nothing to see, he said.
Wid goes out. He comes back with a plastic chair, which he gives to Hilmar.
Seems like you don't know how to amuse yourself here. You sometimes get the chair for yourself?
I don't dare.
Yes, I know. Sobirin and I were the same, too. We were like that, too.
You used to work here?
Yes, Sobirin was bold enough to go into the women's toilet, opposite just for something to do. They're not very different, and they're empty anyway.
Women's toilets. Isn't there an attendant there?
Yes, certainly. That's one reason Sobirin went there. And to chat with Nanook, who worked there. Is she still around?
I've never heard of anyone called Manook.
Ah, she must have moved. Or left, or got pregnant. What do I care? Yes, that's how it was. Sobirin would go to the women's toilet to have a chat with Manook, but often Sobirin went there even though there was no one on duty there.
What for?
For no particular reason. Just because. He was bored being on duty here, so he went over there. Even though he didn't do anything there, just sat on the edge of the wash basin in the women's toilets, like you're doing now.
Was that all right? In a women's toilet?
Oh, how many people go to the toilet in the lobby? And the guests who are staying here surely use the toilet in their room. If there's an event in the hall on the second floor, they use the toilet there. At the most, one or two guests or more if lots of people check in at the same time, as happened earlier. Otherwise, yeah, like this.
Sobirin never told me.
Never told you what? That the toilets are deserted, or that he often went to the women's toilet?
That he went to the women's toilet.
Ah. Maybe he was embarrassed. Because when he told me, I laughed at him. What did you do there, Rin? It was a crazy thing to do, I said. But one time he invited me to go there for a picnic.
A picnic?
Yes, Sobirin called it a picnic.
You were a toilet attendant and cleaned the toilets too?
Yes, I was here too in the past. Sat minding this toilet. Cleaned it, taking turns with Sobirin, maybe 9 or 10 years ago.
So why did Sobirin act like he didn't know you earlier?
Well, it seems like Sobirin hasn't told you much. Ask him. But at least you know that we were together here in the past.
He must have been quite close. Because he invited you to the women's toilet too.
Go picnic in the women's toilet, you mean? That's what Sobirin called our visits to the women's toilet, right? And I just copied it. Yes, we were certainly close. Sobirin even told me everything he did when he went there.
He didn't just sit there?
Well, at first he just sat. But every time he went there, he discovered something new.
For example?
Well, the women's toilet doesn't just smell like a toilet. I mean, smell of toilet deodorant like this one. There it's more fragrant. Because women using the lobby toilet often spray on perfume before meeting someone in the lobby. Sobirin liked to sniff and the remains of the perfume. Now then while he was sitting there, he would imagine what type of woman had used that perfume.
The scent was still clear?
No, of course not. It wasn't. It got mixed with the smell of the toilet deodorant. It wasn't distinct any longer, but Sobirin insisted that he could imagine what kind of woman had used that perfume. I didn't argue with him because he had his own imaginings. See, if a woman guest entered the toilet, he would act as if he was cleaning the wash basin. Then he would leave immediately. Sometimes he didn't mind because sometimes he would feel that his picnic had been disturbed. He would wait for the guest from behind his door.
He points to the door of the men's toilet, opens it a bit.
When he saw the guest who had used the toilet leave, he went back again.
The attendants there didn't mind?
Manouk? You don't think she had her own picnic? She was happy if Sobirin joined in looking after and cleaning the woman's toilet. Manouk's work was reduced. She could go for a picnic in the kitchen and watch TV. She watched telemovies there.
Manouk called it a picnic too?
Yes, imitating Sobirin. We all called it that, including Wanti, the other girl attendant who rotated with Manouk. When they strolled past, we would ask them, "Where are you going?" "On a picnic," they said.
So you would have time out together?
Oh, no. Oh, Sobirin and I would go on a picnic to the women's toilets. Manouk and her friends would picnic in the kitchen. And watching TV, we were by ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
You know, once Sobirin's picnic was disturbed. While he was sitting there, a woman guest came in. As usual, he waited here for her to leave. But when one guest was finished, more came, one after another. Sobirin couldn't go there. He could only look at the door of the woman's toilet from here and regret the fate of his picnic. All that day, Sobirin was grumbling and angry. Oh.
Hilmar walks to the urinal to spit, but he sees that the door of the stall is open. He goes in there instead.
What?
Now that Sobirin is in maintenance, does that mean when he comes here, he is on a picnic?
No, Sobirin isn't doing that. For 3 years, he worked in this toilet every day. It's not possible for him to come here to picnic.
But he often comes here. Maybe he has his own term for it.
No, he doesn't. I've never heard him talk about it.
But he often keeps silent and looks around him, like at the picnics that you described just now.
I think that would be better described as going home. Going back to his roots. Oh.
Maybe that's it. When he comes here, he's coming home.
Hilmar takes his shopping bag and opens it. He takes out a can of drink, opens the drink to wash away the remains of the saliva. He looks up, gargles the liquid in his throat.
Is your throat sore?
I was just choked up, but it was sore yesterday. The weather is unclear at the moment. Bali is sometimes hot, then sometimes rains. There's no pattern. You can get sick if you don't look after your body.
Wid looks at Hilmar's can of drink. Then he looks away when he sees Hilmar looking at him. Hilmar takes out another can for Wid. He takes out, one by one, biscuits and snacks.
Did you bring all of this food? What for? Are you having a picnic here or visiting home?
I'm not crazy like Sobirin. Yes, I often went to the women's toilet in the past to picnic. But that was because Sobirin asked me to, and I had no choice. Look, I don't need to explain to you why I brought food here. Just eat if you like.
Hilmar opens a packet of biscuits and offers them to Wid.
Wow. There are apples and oranges too. This is really like a picnic.
Wid sits on the plastic chair, eating.
How do you come to be here? How long since you came?
It's a long story.
Oh, so you'd rather we just keep silent? You don't want to tell me? All right.
Sobirin invited me here.
Sobirin invited you to Bali? How did that happen?
No, Sobirin brought me to work at this hotel. Coming to Bali was my own choice. It's such a long story, I don't know where to start.
You give up very quickly.
You do the talking, I'll just listen.
Oh, I don't like that. Up till now, I've talked about this and that, and you just laughed. I like to listen to people's stories too. But don't feel forced into it if you don't want to.
Wid takes out his wallet and takes out a small photo, which he shows to Hilmar.
What's with this photo? Is this you when you were small? Where was it taken? Not in Bali, I think.
It's a photo of me when I was small, still in 5th grade primary school. This is my mother. We were at Prambanan.
The Prambanan temple?
Not Prambanan temple because I didn't go into the temple.
So,
This is my photo taken from outside the temple, at the bus terminal in front of the temple.
no, but it looks as if you were at the temple.
That's why I kept the photo. The fence around the temple is not visible, so it looks as if we're in the temple, whereas in fact, we're outside.
Why didn't you go in?
We went to Prambanan with a group of my mother's friends who were attending a funeral of an acquaintance in Prambanan. We didn't take our own car as no one had one. We took the bus from Solo. Going home from the funeral, we waited for the bus again at the terminal in front of the temple. While we were waiting, my mother asked her friend to take our photo with the temple in the background.
Why didn't you go in?
It didn't feel right. Because we were going home from a funeral, it wasn't good to call in like that. That's what my mother said.
Could have whimpered and complained since you were still a kid in 5th grade primary school like your mother would have understood.
I did that. I kicked up, but this photo was all we got. We still didn't go in. It wasn't until I got home that I found out why we didn't go in.
Why?
My mother had only enough money for the bus fare home.
Well, as far as I know, it doesn't cost much to go to the temple.
I don't know. But with the little money we had, we didn't dare to do much, even to ask the cost of a ticket to enter the Prambanan temple. This story is too long and it's going all over the place, you see.
Oh, that doesn't matter. The important thing is that we're not waiting here in silence for Sobirin to come back. Oh, go on.
Yes, that was it. We didn't go into the Prambanan temple. Then there was another incident. When I was in year 2 in junior high school, my school made a study tour to Bali. They went at the end of the school year, but it was announced at the beginning of the year. The idea was so that people could start saving the cost of the study tour from the beginning of the year.
And your mother couldn't pay, although it was announced at the beginning of the year.
And it happened again when I was in grade 6 in primary school, and the school had a farewell picnic.
That's why you didn't want to tell your story. It would make us feel sad. Sorry if I don't look as if I'm sharing your sadness. Now, that was years ago. You should forget about it.
I have forgotten, but I always remember if someone asks me.
So you took your revenge by coming to Bali by
I
yourself.
wasn't taking revenge.
Just now you were sad. Now you say that you weren't avenging yourself. What was it then?
I was bored working in the printery.
What printery?
Just a printery in Solo. After I graduated from technical high school, I worked in a printery in Solo. Its owner was a neighbor, although a rather distant neighbor.
Well, good that you got work, wasn't it?
How could it be good if what we did each day was to print invitations to other people's weddings? While we ourselves would probably never have a fine wedding invitation like that.
Now you are being envious of other people's fortunes. You never feel gratitude.
Maybe not. But maybe I was bored. So then I left Solo.
Right, then you came to Bali.
On the ferry, I met Sobirin.
Where was Sobirin coming from? He never goes far from Bali.
From seeing his wife and child in Madiun, he said. On the ferry, Mas Sobirin offered me work here. A vacancy had just opened up, he said.
You didn't like looking after other people's wedding invitations, and now you're looking after other people's body waste.
A different hotel guest enters, wearing casual but expensive clothes. He is rather startled to see there are 2 people in the toilet, but he keeps going and pees in the urinal. Wid signals to Hilmar to clear away the biscuits on the wash basin.
It doesn't matter, no need to clear them away. Just put them to one side.
Hilmar turns to go.
Where are you going?
Picnic.
Picnic.
Hilmar points to the women's toilet and exits. The hotel guest continues to pee. Wid follows after Hilmar, after hesitating for a moment. The second guest is left alone as Sobirin enters, somewhat shocked to find that Wid is not there. He approaches the scattered biscuits and cans of drink rather angrily. The second guest finishes peeing, washes the end of his penis, and presses the flushing knob. He then heads to the wash basin. He takes off his watch, places it on the edge of the basin near the plant. He washes his hands and splashes his face. Sobirin looks into the toilet stalls. Wid is not there.
Wid. Wid!
The second hotel guest takes a tissue, wipes his hands. He looks at the mirror for a moment, and then goes out. Just as Hilmar and Wid return.
What did you think of your first picnic to the women's toilet?
Nothing special. I don't know what was so good about it. We just sat there silently.
That's because you didn't easily feel grateful.
What do I have to feel grateful about in going to the women's toilet?
I know why you didn't feel the enjoyment of picnicking there. Because you have a friend here. Me! We've been talking all along, so you didn't feel bored.
Maybe.
Imagine if you were alone here, no friend, only guest peeing who regarded you as if you didn't exist. You'd certainly long for a different space, and the women's toilet would be heaven. Try it another time if you don't believe me.
Try it once and it will become a habit.
Oh, good. That means you've understood the enjoyment of picnicking there.
Or I will ask Sobirin sometime to take me there.
Yes, just ask Sobirin. Well, who knows? He may be better at showing you the pleasures of picnicking in the women's toilet.
I've known all along that Sobirin has lots of ideas, including the idea of going there.
Oh, you don't think it's stupid any longer?
I never said it was a stupid idea.
No, but you laughed at it. You thought it was stupid, didn't you?
Maybe.
No, not maybe, certainly, because I laughed the first time Sobirin invited me there. Finally, I realized it was a great idea.
Sobirin is always like that, it seems.
Like what?
Has lots of ideas, like studying.
Does he tell you to be like that too?
Like that in what way?
To like studying?
Sobirin tells me to study whatever I can pick up. If people from maintenance are working here, fixing something that's broken, he says I should watch them carefully, study what they're doing.
So that later on you'll be like Asri.
How do you know? Yes, Sobirin did say that
How
earlier.
many times has he spoken like that to you?
I've only heard it once, exactly like that. Asri studied hard, memorizing the flight schedules, yeah? How did you know?
Sobirin is really proud of Asri. I'm not surprised he should tell you to follow Asri's example, to absorb all the knowledge around you.
What do you mean?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I agree with Sobirin telling us to study like that, but he is too naive. He thinks that Asri got her scholarship from Mr. Suryatmoko because she was clever at studying, good at picking up the knowledge around her. Sobirin is too simple so that he doesn't know whether Asri got her scholarship because she picked up knowledge or because she sucked up Mr. Suryatmoko. You don't believe it?
I guessed it. I had that thought too.
Like, how is it possible that a hotel would be generous enough to give scholarships to the children of employees just because they were smart? Even when hotel guests forget to pay for peanuts and chocolate from the minibar, they chase them up. Isn't that how they make their profit? So would they want to redistribute it again to pay for the schooling of the children of employees?
Sobirin never mentioned that.
Hilmar heads for the out-of-order urinal. He presses the broken knob.
Things like this. Sobirin immediately knows what is broken, even though he has only seen it from outside. But with the deceit of his superiors, he just doesn't catch on.
But is it true what you said about Asri?
Well, what do I care whether it's true or not, and I sense it strongly. They're not going to confess, are they? Hey, what is making you sadder now? Asri or Sobirin? Ah, you like Asri, don't you? She turns you on?
She's pretty.
About Sobirin, you don't feel sad?
Sobirin never told me weird stories like that.
Ah, now you call my stories weird. Before, when you heard them, you were wrapped.
No, it's not like that. But Sobirin only tells me stories
That make you want to study harder.
Yes.
Yeah, Sobirin is a good employee. He was happy to guard this toilet enthusiastically, in line with what Mr. Jatmiko always says. Regard this hotel as your home. Look after it and clean it like your home. Take care of the guests as if they had come to visit you. Like that, eh? Sobirin never realizes that his wages haven't gone up for years, even though the number of guests at the hotel has increased. Maybe because he loves his work.
Was that what made you leave here?
I didn't come to Bali to be an attendant in a toilet in a hotel lobby. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to undermine your respect for Sobirin.
You don't seem to like Sobirin.
I don't like his naivete, but as friends, I always think of him as a friend. Sobirin and I have been friends since our childhood in Banten. We were very close, but I always felt that Sobirin looked too positively at bad things.
But isn't it good to be like that?
Once there was an Independence Day competition in our village. There was a pole climbing competition. Lots of prizes were hung up. There were pans and fans, a mini radio, a child's school bag, all kinds of things, including a watch with the famous Casio brand. We all knew that the Casio watch was a fake one that cost about the same as a fan or pan, but Sobirin wouldn't listen.
Sobirin chose the Casio watch?
Yes. Because he was the smallest at the time, our team chose him to be at the top, meaning he would take down the prizes if we could get him up there. I said to him, "Don't worry about the Casio watch, Rin, it's surely a fake."
What did Sobirin say?
"Oh, how could it be a fake?" That's what he said.
So he insisted on taking the fake watch?
Well, at first the whole team agreed that Sobirin could take the watch for himself once he had knocked down the other prizes, which we thought were better. I myself ordered a little radio, which was hanging up there.
Did you get the radio?
At Sobirin, the pole was very slippery. We couldn't grip it very long because time was short. Sobirin was tempted to go for the fake Casio watch. He got it, along with a little radio for me. He wasn't able to knock down the other prizes for the others.
I remember Sobirin saying that he had once had a Casio watch. But he didn't say anything about the pole climbing competition.
Yes, that's Sobirin. Even after 6 months, his watch was broken, dead, couldn't be used anymore, he still believed it was a real one.
Poor Sobirin.
Well, at first I felt sorry for him. But then I saw that was what Sobirin was like. He thought the Casio watch was a real one, whereas it was a fake. He thinks this hotel cares about his employees, while in fact they look on us as shit, which is a bit useful since it's willing to clean up the guest shit.
He thinks that Asri is clever and keen to study, whereas maybe she is just taking advantage of her opportunities.
You're getting sharper and sharper.
But everyone here seems to like Sobirin.
No, don't be naive like Sobirin. No one here thinks well of his workmates, especially if you're a toilet attendant.
Sobirin once spoke about that. He said,
No need to worry about their attitudes towards us. What matters is how we work. Poor Sobirin thinking like that for years.
it's odd.
What's up?
I've known Sobirin for some time. He was indeed the first person I got to know here, but why don't I know much about him? And now I'm getting to know him through another person.
For you, I may be another, but Sobirin and I are not others. If I hadn't known Sobirin well, I would never have come here to Bali with him.
Did you bring Sobirin to Bali?
No, I didn't bring him. Sobirin wanted to come to Bali for his own reasons. I had my reasons too. I happened to be bolder about leaving home. Sobirin worried too much at that time, but eventually he said he was willing to leave with me.
Why did you go to Bali?
I remember clearly when I was small, on the main road near our village, there was a great big billboard. It had a great cigarette advertisement showing a man holding a cigarette, and there was a woman leaning against his shoulder, maybe his girlfriend. Behind them there was a scene of the setting sun. When I got older, I found out that it was the view of Tanah Lot temple in Bali.
Oh, yes, I can imagine that picture. It's often used on postcards in Bali.
Yeah, not only in Bali. Postcards of the Tanah Lot temple I found everywhere. I even saw the picture on a calendar in a restaurant in Surabaya. Every day, when we were going home from school, I'd ask Sobirin to go past that billboard. I'd ask him to sit at the side of the road, looking at that picture. I said to Sobirin, we'll feel really happy if we could see that view with a pretty woman beside us. We'd look like real men.
So you liked to fantasize when you were little?
Now, what little kid doesn't like to fantasize? Apparently, Sobirin wasn't particularly interested in that picture because I asked him along. He would sit at the edge of the road looking at that picture, but he didn't seem to admire it the way I did.
So what did he do?
Yeah, he just kept me company. He was always good to me, although he didn't realize it one day. He said something to me that I remember most of all.
What was it?
Sobirin said that he had seen that billboard at night, and that the light shining on it made it stand out brightly in the darkness. You can see it more clearly, Ma. That's what he said to me.
Seems like Sobirin paid attention to it also.
Yes, he paid attention to it, but it wasn't the billboard he was interested in. What he cared about was whether I was happy that the billboard looked beautiful. I remember how Sobirin always tried to please me then.
Did you go to see the billboard at night too?
Yes. After evening prayer, Sobirin invited me to look at the board. It was certainly lit up well. The man with the cigarette looked more handsome. The girl was prettier. The picture of Tanah Lot could be seen more clearly. Imagine that great billboard shining out on the main road near our quiet village.
So from then on, you started looking at the billboard at night because it looked more stunning.
Yes. Every evening after prayer time, Sobirin and I would sit on the edge of the road, watching day turn into night. Seeing that billboard get clearer and clearer day by day.
Sobirin is really good.
Yeah, that's Sobirin. He really knew how to please his friends. And as far as I can remember, it was from the time which Sobirin showed me the billboard at night that I started to promise myself. When I grew up, I had to be as handsome and strong as the man on that billboard. The woman beside me had to be as pretty as that woman. And I had to travel to Bali to see Tanah Lot with my own eyes. Not in a picture in a cigarette advertisement.
You've been determined to do that for a long time.
Yes, as long as Sobirin stuck with me in dreaming of picnicking to Bali.
Just as you said, what child doesn't fantasize? What person doesn't dream?
It took a long time to come about, didn't it? When I left high school, I went to Jakarta. I worked at all kinds of things there, a waiter in a Padang restaurant, cleaning people's houses, a builder's laborer, but I never forgot my desire to go to Bali.
Sobirin has never told me that he went to Jakarta.
Sobirin didn't come with me to Jakarta. He stayed home in the village. After I'd been in Jakarta, I came home. I told Sobirin that I wanted to picnic in Bali.
Did he want to go immediately?
I forget what Sobirin said at that time, but he invited me to look at the billboard on the edge of the road near our village.
Was it still there?
The billboard was still there, but the picture had changed. There was no handsome man with a cigarette or pretty woman. There was no picture of Tanah Lot.
The advertisement had changed. It had happened sometime before.
Yes, it had been replaced by an advertisement for cooking oil. I saw that again. There was a pretty woman wearing an apron after cooking. She was carrying a big plate with fried chicken on it. Beside her was a handsome man, and there was a little child. They were like a family, smiling happily, although all they were doing was eating fried chicken.
Ah, yes. An advertisement for cooking oil like you find in the papers and magazines.
Sobirin pointed to that billboard. He said, "Look at that billboard, Mar. It's much bigger than the one with the cigarette advertisement that we had looked at earlier. And the picture is different. But you still hold to your dream of going to Bali?"
What did you answer?
I didn't reply to him. Sobirin knew that I still wanted to go to Bali. So he took me at night to see the billboard with the cooking oil advertisement. Who knows, I might be tempted by it and forget my dream of going to Bali.
Ah, he was doing the same thing as when he tried to please you in the past.
Yes! But I felt just the same. I couldn't understand why the man was smiling happily just because the woman had made fried chicken for him.
I understand. Sobirin must have wanted to be like that man. He had a pretty wife who was a good cook. They had a nice house with a clean kitchen and a healthy child.
Wait, don't think I'm stupid. I knew that Sobirin wanted to have a family like that. But But I couldn't understand why such small things would make someone happy.
You don't want to get married? Don't want to have a family? What is it?
Wait, do you hear that voice?
What voice?
Shh, shh. Just listen.
There's no voice. The faint sound of a woman's voice can be heard, talking on a mobile phone, along with the sound of high heels on the floor outside, heading for the women's toilet.
Quick! She's going into the women's toilet. What's she like?
I was almost too late, but I got to see her back.
Well, do you think she's pretty?
Judging from her clothes, perhaps she's pretty.
Pretty women don't need to dress up. Only women who want to be pretty dress up.
Yeah, that's just my guess. But what would a woman like that be doing in the women's toilet in the lobby in the early hours of the morning?
What would a phone be doing maybe in the middle of this toilet? You ask too many questions when God gives you blessing. Just enjoy it. Just look at the pretty woman rather than being bored here.
Yeah, I'm not used to minding the toilet in the early morning, so naturally I've got lots of questions.
Look, in a few minutes she will come out of the women's toilet. If you want to try a picnic like Sobirin's, we can go there. I'll show you how the scent of the woman's perfume blends with the toilet deodorant.
Yeah, let's do that.
She's peeing even though she didn't really need to.
What?
No, the woman went to the toilet in the lobby so that when she enters the hotel room, she won't need to pee.
How do you know?
Later, when you grow up, you'll find out too. Okay, so look, some women never like to pee in front of their man. As soon as they enter the room, they should be ready for bed. Every part of their body should be fragrant. The woman you saw just now was like that. She wanted to pee first before she went to the room of whoever had called her. As soon as she entered the room, she would be ready. Her crotch would no longer smell of pee. She would have perfumed it again in the lobby toilet.
She was a call girl? A bad woman?
They're not bad. They give pleasure. Our people call them late at night like this. Western tourists usually engage them for a long stay, not changing every night like us. Oh, watch Pretty Woman. Julia Roberts stays with Richard Gere for a long time, sleeps with him, meets with him, talks to him.
So the person calling that woman just now was a local tourist?
Oh, maybe. Let's see. Maybe that woman has come out already.
Wid heads for the door ahead of Hilmar, but before they reach the door, Sobirin opens it and appears carrying a box of tools.
I came here earlier. I wanted to see you to find out if you needed someone to keep you company, but there was no one here. And the edge of the wash basin was dirty.
Just now we
Went to the women's toilet. I knew. I left you alone. I didn't want to spoil your enjoyment. You haven't yet been here 3 months, and all you've done is go in and out of the women's toilet. And I see you've now got a friend with the same tastes.
So before this, you've often gone in and out of the women's toilet by yourself. You. Where'd you get this, kid?
You'd better go straight away, Mar. Astrid has told me what you did to her just now.
So she's told you. Seems like she still likes reporting things.
What harm has that girl done to you? She told me that you grabbed her cheek, that you tried to grab her breast. She's disgusted by your behavior. If you do it again, we'll expel you from here. Like we did when you made Manu pregnant.
Before you could expel me, Rin. But now I have many Korean guests, and later, lots of Chinese guests will stay at the hotel. And remember, they only want to stay here because I have been their guide in the past. Because my travel agency and I organize their visits. If I were you, I would be more careful dealing with a travel agent who sends many of his clients to stay in this hotel, like I do.
What has Astrid done to you, Ma? So that you want to ruin her future? As you did with Manuk when you made her pregnant and dumped
I
her?
gave her money to have an abortion. You must know that.
You're a monster, Ma. You make Manuk pregnant, then you tell her to kill her own child?
Well, what else was there to do?
Indeed, that's all you have in your head, since you're always using it to find opportunities to go in and out of the women's toilet, chasing the scent of their perfume. What was it they used to call it? A picnic?
So it was you, Hilmar, who liked to picnic in the women's toilet?
Why are you surprised? You can see from his face that he's a sleaze, can't you?
He said it was you who invited him to picnic in the women's toilet.
Sobirin laughs and turns his back. He faces the mirror.
Which one is right?
Ah, why do you suddenly care which of my stories is correct and which is wrong? You yourself lied.
I didn't lie. I didn't say that I never hung out in the women's toilet.
Same thing.
You also said that you didn't know where Manuk had gone, whereas in fact, you had made her pregnant. Sobirin, that guy,
Oh, now they call me that guy?
that guy said that Asri got her scholarship not because she's clever, not because she soaked up lots of knowledge, but because she sucked up Mr. Jatmiko.
You believed him?
Is it right that Asri said that that guy had rubbed her cheek and tried to touch her breast?
What do you want, Wid? Huh? Do you want to try to be a hero too?
Wid turns bright red. Still standing at the door by the toilet, Hilmar laughs. Phlegm comes into his throat again. He coughs it up and spits it out.
It would be better if you left, Mar. You want to work.
You can't drive me away, Rin. I know you're fond of me. We're friends.
In the past, we were friends, but not
Oh,
anymore.
you're lying, Rin. If you hated me, you wouldn't have married Manuk. You wouldn't have looked after my child in Manuk's belly.
How did you find out that I married Manuk?
Just now. Less than a week ago, I heard from an employee here. No need to mention names. People here have been very good in keeping it a secret from me for years, and they did it just for you.
Ma, keep away from us. Don't disturb us any further.
How could I disturb you? Manuk is not in Bali anymore. You've sent her home to live with her parents in Madiun, haven't you?
How do you know that Manuk is in Madiun? Have you been trying to contact her again?
That kid told me. He said he met you on the ferry coming back from visiting your wife and child in Madiun. At that moment I knew that you had told Manuk to live in Madiun, to go to her parents' house.
I only told him how we met. I didn't know that your going back to Madiun was a secret.
Oh, shh! Rin, I didn't come here to disturb you. I heard that you had married Manuk and you were looking after my child. I only wanted to say thank you. To ask how you are.
There's no need to make a big fuss. It's not your child. Your child has died. You told Manuk to kill it. You didn't want to have a family, did you? You didn't want children. Why do you suddenly care
Even
now?
though I gave her the money, I was sure that Manuk wouldn't kill it. I know it's my child, Rin. Look, is the child big now, Rin? Maybe 6 or 7. Must be already at school. Tell me, Rin, does the boy look like me? Rin?
He likes to listen to the radio like you did when you were little. I bought him a little radio like the one you had. We got from the pole climbing competition back then.
Does he sing along with the songs on the radio, Rin, like I did back then?
Yes, like you did. He memorizes the songs on the radio. He keeps his mother company cooking while listening to the radio. He takes his afternoon bath while listening to the radio. He takes it everywhere. He takes the radio to bed with him. He hugs it, and he goes to sleep smiling to himself. Just like you did in the past.
Must be really cute. Can I see him sometime, Rin?
Why would you want to see the
I
child that you
just
thought
want to
was
see
dead?
him, Rin.
I already said, don't disturb us, Ma. Don't go near the child. I'm taking care of him as if he were my own child. I love him as I once loved you.
Are you still fond of me, Rin? Are you going to hate me, Rin? Do you remember the fake Casio watch that you got from the Tanah Lot competition back then? Would you like me to get you a real one? Rin, next month I'm going to Japan. I'll buy a real one for you. That doesn't stop working for only after 6 months. A real Casio watch will surely last. You can keep on and on using it. Do you want to come with me to Japan? Rin, look on it as an expression of thanks for looking after my child. We can picnic, we can walk around. You don't get around much, do you, Rin? Even though we've been in Bali for a long time?
No, I'm happy here. Didn't you want to live in Bali before?
You're wrong, Rin. You've always had it wrong. I only wanted to picnic in Bali. Now, after 10 years here, I still regard it as a picnic. I don't want to live here. I sometimes feel I'd like to go back to our village. To grow old there. To sit on the edge of the road as before. I don't want to stay here. We came to Bali to picnic, to have fun. I don't want to live here. Nor to look after toilets in a hotel lobby. You feel the same way, don't you?
Better for you to go, Mar. Or to wait in the lobby. Or to help your assistants who are waiting at the airport for the guests from Taipei. China Airlines has certainly landed now. Your guests will be ready at the hotel.
You still remember the schedule of arrivals and departures, Adrian? Let me know when you would like to visit Japan. Will you let me know?
Excuse me, I left my watch here just now.
The second hotel guest returns. Everyone looks at each other. Wid gets up from the plastic chair. Hilmar stands so that the guest can check around the wash basins. Sobirin is standing near the broken urinal. He does not move.
Are you sure that you placed your watch here?
Yes, I washed my face, washed my hands, and took off my watch. I put it here.
Hopefully no one picked it up. What kind of watch was it?
Digital.
Was it a Casio?
No, why?
It doesn't matter. It's just that knowing the brand will make it easier to look for it.
It wasn't a Casio, it was an Alba.
All right, it's not here. There's no Casio, no Alba. We've been here all along and no watch has been seen and left here.
I put it a bit to the side so that it wouldn't get wet when I was washing my
An
face.
expensive watch like that surely wouldn't be damaged by water. Why take it off?
Just from habit. All right, maybe I left it somewhere else, even though I'm actually convinced I put it down here just now. If anyone finds it later, please let me know. I'll still be in the lobby.
I think I'll go out to the lobby too, Rin. I'll wait for my guests there. And I told you why I was looking for you earlier. I'll wait to hear whether you want to come with me to Japan.
Wait a moment. What about this watch?
And what do you mean?
The guest's watch was left in the toilet and disappeared. If he makes a complaint, I'll be the one who gets into trouble.
So?
I didn't take it. Sobirin came in when we were already here. You were the only one. You were the only one here. Didn't I leave you here alone earlier?